All right, friends, it's your boy, Mr. Shaggy, coming at you with tonight's homework for lesson 13, interpreting points in the coordinate plane. So number 1 says the elevation of a submarine is shown in the table. Draw and label coordinates with the appropriate scale and plot the points. Well, first I'm going to look at my table, right? I noticed that my table has some pretty large numbers in it, and it has some time. So this is my X, this is my Y, right? So for this one, I'm going to count by 100s, and I'm kind of going to draw my axis kind of like this for this problem here. I'm going to count by 100s and hope that I can fit everything on here, and these should be negative, right? So I'm just using the 4th quadrant of the coordinate plane. This is going to take me a second. Still got some more. Got to go all the way to at least 1600. It's going to give me a second of time. So somewhere down here. It's going to be a little further than that. And then obviously I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is again X. This is my Y. And so I'm going to plot these, right, for people based off the information I have. So at 0, I'm at 567, so negative 567, so that should be between those two. At 1, I'm at 892, so somewhere around there. At 2, I'm at 1606, so at the highest possible endpoint, which is down there. At 3, I'm at 1289, so 3, and then somewhere right there. And then 4, I'm at 990, so 4, possibly right here, and my line just went wonky. At 5, I'm at negative 702, so 5 there. And at 6, I'm at negative 365. So the most important part of this problem is really the scale that you use. Counting by 100s works because you can individually have a point. I know I didn't give you enough space to make it perfect, but I just really care about the scale and that you have an X and a Y. That's the most important part to me. Number 2 says the x-axis represents the number of hours before or after noon, and the y-axis represents the temperature in degrees Celsius. So remember that this is where 0, 0 is noon, and then before noon would be to this side, after noon would be to this side. Positive temperature would be this way, negative temperatures be this way. At 9 a.m. it was below freezing. So 9 a.m. is that before noon or is that afternoon? Well, it's before noon, so this would be 11, 10, 9, right? And then it's below freezing, so below freezing would be down here, so quadrant 3. At 11 a.m., that's still before noon, it was 10 degrees Celsius, right? So that means that it's a positive temperature, which would make that quadrant 2. And then what does the point 0, 0 represent in this context? 0, 0 for this question, right? At noon, the temperature is 0 degrees Celsius. That's what that means. At noon, the temperature would be 0 degrees Celsius. So that's basically all you have to do for that, is understand that context. And then number 3 says inequalities. H is greater than 42 and H is less than 60 represent the height requirements for amusement park ride, where H represents a person's height in inches. I did not put the question, so it says write a sentence or draw a sign. So for this, you must be, or a person, I just want you to write a person must be taller than 42 inches, but shorter than 60 inches in order to ride the ride. So that's what I'm looking for. I just want you to write a sentence. Write a sentence explaining what it is that you see, and I will talk about this in classes. That's another little Easter egg that I,